everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I hope today's been treating you well. In today's video, as you can see from the title down below, I am compiling a full face of TikTok viral makeup. So this is viral brands and viral products that I just keep seeing over and over and over and over again on my TikTok page. And I've bought a few new products, I've got a few old products that even though I've bought them, I still keep seeing them over and over again. And some products that I was very kindly sent as well, so we'll get into all of that. But this is TikTok makeup. If you are on TikTok, you know the king and the queen of TikTok makeup, Made by Mitchell and Plouise. There's a lot of that in here, but there is also some other brands that I'm very excited to get into. If you haven't seen my face before, then hello, my name is Millie. I get really overexcited about makeup. Can you tell? I post at least 3 times a week on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday, but it's always more often than that because I just get overexcited and get giddy about makeup, and I always want to try all of the new stuff. So if that sounds good to you and you're also interested in affordable and cruelty-free makeup, that is all we do here. So I'd love it if you would subscribe down below. Like I said, there's always new videos here regularly because I just get giddy. And if you're not new here, then hi. I hope that you are doing so well. I would love it if you'd leave a comment down below if you tried any of these products and what you think of them as well. But let's just get started. Starting with the skin prep. It's the end of the day. I have already had a full day at work and then I came home and I took all of my makeup off, and I really like this moisturiser for under my makeup. This is the Made by Mitchell Keen Screen Skin Prep Moisturiser. When I first got this, I used it as more of a like nighttime moisturiser, and it doesn't really work for me in that way. It's not enough. I have very dry skin. This for under makeup, if my skin is feeling particularly dry, I'll use it over another moisturiser, but this is like my last step in my skincare routine before I go in with makeup. This is absolutely beautiful. I do believe it's got glycerin in it. Of course, there's no information on here. It just says Keen Screen Moisturiser. I'm fairly certain it's got glycerin in it, which makes it like a priming, moisturising sort of a step, and I really like that. I already have that on my skin. I put it on a little while ago so that it would be sinking in. And then for like an actual primer, Plouise is your gal. This is the Get a Grip Gripping Primer. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of a gripping primer. They're fine, they don't rock the boat. This one, however, I feel like is so lovely and hydrating. It's almost like a serum-y texture. If I get some out on the back of my hand. I hate the packaging. I've spoken about the packaging before. I really hate it just because the actual liquid is so thin. Like I've got a little blob of it on the back of my hand there, and if I lift my hand up you can see how liquidy and thin the product is, but that just means that it makes it really nice and hydrating. And like I say, dry skin gal, I need all the hydrating steps, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this all over the skin. That I got on the back of my hand was actually probably a bit too much because it is really thin. Like it spreads right out. You barely need anything to like really cover, you know, everywhere, and it is ever so slightly tacky, but that's not why I love it. I love it because it feels really nice and hydrating. Out of all of the grippy primers that I've tried, this is probably my favourite one. So I've got a new foundation and concealer combo to try. It's from HNB Cosmetics. So I got the Silky Matte Weightless Foundation, and I got this in MF4N. I love the packaging. It's like a frosted glass, really beautiful packaging. I will say that they didn't have any, my skin is definitely like a yellow undertone. They didn't have any yellow undertones for the fairer shades. Maybe I just wasn't looking, or maybe they were out of stock when I was buying on TikTok shop, but I ended up having to get a neutral, which should still work just fine for me. And I also got a concealer, which is the Soft Focus Airbrush Concealer. This packaging isn't quite as luxurious feeling. I mean, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not glass. Or is it? I can't tell. I think that's just plastic. So let's just start with the foundation once it comes out of the pump bottle. That took a little bit longer than I was expecting it to. So that is what the colour looks like. It should work. I do have a sponge. I have already dampened that. Let's just, that might be a bit dark. Let's just see. This does smell a little bit of paint. Not really overwhelmingly, but there's definitely a little hint of paint there. So let's take whatever I've got left on the back of my hand. So that was 2 pumps. And let's blend her in. The colour isn't perfect. But also, can I ever buy the right colour completely blind, just buying online? Absolutely not. I always get it wrong. The depth of the colour is fine. It's not too light and not too dark, I don't feel like. It's just something about the undertone is not quite right for me. It's close. I might be able to make it work with, you know, bronzer and concealer and all the other steps, but the colour is not perfect for me. Let me get, I don't have anything with a mirror. Let me find a mirror. I am not sure what I think of that. I feel like in some areas, like here, I feel like there's no coverage at all. Like I can still see all of my pores, all of my freckles, all of my redness. And then in some areas, like up here, where I didn't put product there, I just blended product there, it's like it's grabbing. And I know that it's a matte foundation, but I feel like that looks quite textured in areas, like it hasn't blended out incredibly well. And like I say, that primer that I have on underneath is a favourite. Oh, I'm disappointed. I had high hopes for this. I know that this is a favourite for a lot of people. And even though I have dry skin, I do like a matte foundation. I'm not completely sold on this one though. I was definitely expecting perhaps a little bit more coverage. Like I feel like you can still see a lot of like problem areas that I definitely thought this would cover. I'm not sure what I think of that. I will keep on trying it, of course, but first impressions, not completely sure. So I will try the concealer now. This is the Soft Focus Airbrush Concealer, and I got this in SF1W. So this is a warmer shade, so it should work for me. So it's got a big doe foot applicator. Let's pop some of that in my inner corner. Get rid of these eye bags. That colour looks better. So I'm going to just use the same sponge to blend this out. And let's see what we think of the concealer. So the concealer is actually, there is a foundation that goes with this, the Soft Focus Airbrush Foundation. But I thought I could try, you know, that concealer and a different foundation, see how I feel about both of them. Okay. I really like the concealer. I wonder if I would prefer the foundation version of that concealer rather than the Silky Matte foundation. I could be convinced. if you want to see a review of that, I could be swayed to purchase that as well. I did get a loose setting powder. This is the HNB Cosmetics Soft Focus Loose Powder. What do I actually need to set? Yes, possibly a little bit. So I got this in the shade 01 Fair, and I can't see where the little bit is. Ooh, so very, very powdery. I mean, it is a powder, but before I go into the powder, I have a cream bronzer that I wanted to use today, so I'm going to do that first so that I don't completely mess everything up. Let's find my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and the bronzer that I'm using today is the Made by Mitchell Blush Balm Bronzed, and this is in Shady Business. I have spoken about this quite a lot recently, but I absolutely love the Blush Balm Bronzed. I don't necessarily love it for the blushes. I don't know what it is. I know it's the same formula, I know. There's something about it. I just love the bronzer for the stick version rather than the liquid version. I just feel like, I don't know, there's something about it. It just does it for me. So I'm just going to do all of the regular places and blend out with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. And this is a product that, like I said, I have used many times, so I know that I love this one. I'm hoping that this will make this colour work a little bit better for me. Keep your fingers crossed. Right, so that is the cream bronzer. We love her. We love her. So I do actually have somewhere. I wonder if it's in here. No, it must be in the wash, but I do have somewhere a HNB Cosmetics puff, and I really, really like it. It was a free gift with purchase that I got many moons ago from Boots ? But I'm just going to use a little nondescript Amazon doofer. So I'm gonna tap into the lid there. This is tinted, so it might add a little bit more coverage in those areas that I feel like there is none. So let's see, what do I think of this powder? I'm very picky with powders, so let's see what I think of this one. Considering I'm not loving the base that I've got going on, I like that powder. Like, first impressions, I don't feel like it's doing anything bad to the base. I already don't like the base though, so I am going to have to reassess when I'm using a foundation that I know, and one that I know works well with like different powders and stuff. So I will hold judgment on the powder. I like the concealer. The foundation, I'm just not completely sold on. I like that this comes in different shades though, so you know, you deeper skinned queens actually find a powder that will hopefully work for your skin tone. So I'm gonna go off and do my brows before I carry on, because I want to do my lips before I do anything else, because you'll see. Let me go off and do my brows and then we can continue. So that is the brows on, and like I said, I want to do the lips before I continue with anything else, because I'm not entirely sure what colour this lip product is going to be. It's the Wonderskin Blading Lip Stain Mask. You have not been on the internet if you haven't seen what these are. So this is in the shade XOXO. I was sent all of these bits from Wonderskin, so let's just give them a try. I'm going to start with the lip stain, and then if I need a lip liner, I have a few different lip liner shades, so we can go in with that. But this looks like it's going to be like a light baby pink sort of a shade. let's just see. But if you haven't seen these online, they're blue. Like the product goes on blue and then it stains. I really don't even know. The instructions aren't incredibly clear. It just says, using a damp cloth or tissue, swipe over lips, wiping away lip stain mask from one side to the other. Repeat to buff off any remaining bits of mask. But how long am I meant to leave this on for? That is my question. So we're going to figure it out together. I'm going to have blue lips for a little while. So let's just see. Ooh, oh, that smells like Parma violets. I'm such a nana. I love a Parma violet. So let's see. I feel like it's almost tingling a little bit. Is it meant to do that? I hope it's meant to do that. This is still very much wet and I did quite a heavy layer so that hopefully it'll sort of peel off in one go, question mark. But I need to like leave this to dry now before I can peel / wipe it off. And also, how am I meant to wipe this off with a damp cloth if I've already got my foundation on? Because then I'm just going to wipe all my foundation off, aren't I? So maybe this is like a high maintenance to be low maintenance thing, like this is part of your maintenance routine rather than a makeup routine. I'm not sure, but this is what the colour's looking like at the minute. I can feel it like tightening, so I'll just give that a minute to like properly dry down, and then I will consider how I'm going to remove this blue lip stain to see what colour it is, because I'll talk about this whilst this dries. I have got 2 more shades of the Made by Mitchell blush books. I have got Grow Your Peach and Living in Pink, so depending on what colour this goes, if it goes more hot pink, then I can use the pink one, or if it goes more peachy, I can use the peach one. That's my thinking. Obviously, currently I can't tell, so I can't continue until I know what colour this is going to be. I did get a few different shades of lip liner. I picked this one out because I thought that this would be a good match what I thought this colour would go like. This is the 360 Contour Lip Liner, and this is in Rosewood. So that's what that colour looks like. So I'm hoping I can do this afterwards. Let's wait and see. I do feel like this has dried. Yeah, I feel like that's dried. My issue is if I use a micellar water, it's just going to take this off, isn't it? But I need a damp cloth. Let me go and get just a regular like muslin cloth and run it under the tap, and then we can try and use that to like scrub this lip stain off. Be right back. Okay, so I've got a damp cloth. A kitten also followed me in here, so we're dealing with that as well. Let's see what this goes like scrubbing it off just with a regular muslin cloth that I've dampened a little bit on the corner. Ooh. That's more like red than I was expecting. Okay. Where I said that felt like it was tingling a little bit, I feel like my lips have gone numb. Like I can't feel that as I'm pressing my lips together. That's a little bit worrying. I did also take all that foundation off from around my mouth. So yes, I would definitely say you need to do this before you do your foundation if it's something that you are potentially interested in. So now that I know what colour this is, what shade of blush do I want to use? Why did I just try and do that with my chin? That was weird. What blush possibly this one down at this bottom corner, which is called Paris. I'm going to go in with this one. I feel like, yeah, that'll do. So another Real Techniques brush that's definitely got a cat hair in it, and going into Paris in the Made by Mitchell Living in Pink blush book. And let's buff a little bit of this over. Yes, I really like that colour. I've already tried one of these blush books from Made by Mitchell, the Atlas of Anatomy one. I've already tried, so I know I love it, but that colour is really pretty. And I do feel like I'm getting the sensation back in my lips now, which of course is grand. So again, Made by Mitchell, I'm going in with Such a Snob. This is one of the newer shades. I'm fairly certain you can get it on TikTok shop, but this as a little bit of a liquid highlight. Let me get my brush, just tap a little bit of this, and then I use another Real Techniques Expert Face brush, more of a dense brush, and tap it in, and it's got like a golden, warm, peachy reflect to it. I feel like my skin was looking quite matte. I need the glow adding back in. And a lot of these blush light liquid things are like chunky glittery, and you can't, or I can't, for my makeup preferences, can't use them on my face, but this one is really nice and smooth. It's almost like metallic rather than glittery, and I am a really big fan. They do take a little bit of work to like blend them in, but I definitely feel like they're worth it. They are beautiful, and you can see once that like sinks in, it just looks really nice and natural and not like chunky or glittery. Like a lot of the shades do look chunky and glittery, but Such a Snob I love on the cheeks. So I'm going to go in with, what am I going to use? Are you really walking across my table? Hello? There's not room for you on the table. I'm just going to take a little eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to dip into that same blush shade, and I'm just going to wiggle this a little bit in the crease, because I've got an eyeliner that I want to try that I haven't used before. Again, it's Made by Mitchell. We've got a lot of Made by Mitchell, but I feel like if you're on TikTok, you know Made by Mitchell is just absolutely smashing it. Like, they are everywhere on that app. They run that app, so. And you run this household, don't you? Now I'm being hit in the back of the head with a tail. I love that for me. So I have got one of the Make a Mark liquid eyeliners, and this is in the shade Havana, which I'm hoping is going to be a nice like warm coppery brown sort of a shade, but this is glittery. Say less. Say absolutely less. So I'm just going to do a brown glittery wing with one of these. If you haven't tried these before, they are a brush tip applicator, and they are so easy to use. They're so pigmented. What are you doing? It's quite hard to do liquid eyeliner when you've got a cat climbing all over you, but I'll try my best. Okay, so that's not my greatest work, but love that colour. It's really nice and deep and rich, but the glitters are almost gold, so I feel like where it catches the light, that's really, really pretty. I mean, I expected no less. I have the teal and the purple shade also in this formula, and I just live in them. So, so beautiful. Then I've got another product from Wonderskin, which is the Powerful Mascara. I feel like I haven't seen much about this online. Like everything I've seen about Wonderskin has been about that lip stain. But I'm very excited to try this because the wand is interesting. It's so spiky. It looks like a medieval torture device. It's like spiky around the end of the brush as well, which I find very useful for like going back in and like separating the lashes. So let me zoom you in a little bit and you might be able to see what I'm actually doing. So let's see how dramatic I can make this in a couple of layers. I do like a lot of dramatic volume in my mascara, so let's see. I feel like I'm not getting the most amount of drama. Like this is one coat and nothing on the bottom lashes, and this is 2 coats and a light layer on the bottom lashes. It looks nice. It's nice and lengthening. I don't necessarily feel like it's very thickening or volumizing or dramatic or any of those things that I usually look for in a mascara. I will give it a little second and I will maybe try a 3rd coat once all of this is dried. But first impressions, I'm not absolutely blown away. I will, of course, continue trying it and I'll see how long lasting it is, see if the formula like thickens up a little bit. It does feel very liquidy and damp. Like it does feel like if it dried out a little bit, it would probably give me more of what I want, more of that volume and just got it all over my eyelid. More of that volume and thickness that I usually look for in just an everyday mascara. I do like the little wand. I do like that those bristles go all the way around the end, so I can go in and like separate the lashes on like the outer corner and everything. I do like the wand. It's easy to use. I'm just not convinced that the liquidiness, that's not a word, but the amount of liquid that is on the wand is right for my preferences, because I do prefer something that's just a little bit drier. So I'm going to just do a little bit of that rosewood lip liner whilst you're zoomed in. I will say my lips don't feel dry or anything now. Oh, that lip liner is lovely. That's really creamy. I feel like that's exactly the same colour as my t-shirt. I love that. I feel like the colour of that lip liner has worked really well with the colour of that stain as well. Yeah, I like it. So I'm just going to finish the lips with Plouise Classic. Look how dirty that is. I should not have shown you that. This is one of the Plouise Balmy For You lip balms. This is Rich and then something that rhymes with rich. I'm not going to say it, but that is what that is, and it smells like chocolate. It's just a lip balm, but it's a lovely lip balm. I really, really like it, and I love that it smells like chocolate. So, put a nice, healthy layer of that on. Oh, not all the way out there. So, now I just need a cotton bud to get rid of that mascara off my eyelid. So I'm just going to finish this off with a little bit of that Such a Snob liquid highlighter. Do you have to hit me in the face with your tail? Thank you. Just behave yourself. I'm nearly done. I'm just going to take a little bit of that on a dense brush. Do you have to? Yes, you sit on there. Look at the birds. And I'm just going to tap this on the inner corner to highlight, and also just sort of paint it across the inner corner of the eyelid and sort of through the crease a little bit. And I love using these liquid highlights as eyeshadow, especially the more glitterier ones. More glitterier. I promise I know how to speak, it's just the end of a very long day. So just tapping this out to blend it in and wait until it dries so that it's set down. Just for a little pop of something on the inner corner, because it's me and I am so predictable. So let me zoom you out. I might just try and put a little bit more mascara on. Would you judge me? Don't judge me. Okay, so I did just add a third layer of the mascara, and I do feel like that has added a little bit of volume, a little bit of thickness, but generally I like to just do 2 layers, and I do just want a little bit more blush. Now that everything is done, I always just want a little bit more blush right at the end. So I'm just going in with a little bit of the same shade, that Paris shade. Yeah, I feel like, especially when I've done like a liquid highlight, I feel like going over it with a powder blush really just makes it all work. So new products that I've tested today, what do I think of them? The foundation I am 100% holding judgment on. I've got mascara out here now. Oh, I'm making a right old mess of myself. That's better. So where was I? The foundation I am completely holding judgment on. I am going to keep on playing with it. I'm not completely sold. I'm just not sure that I love it. The concealer I really like. Again, I'm going to continue to use all of these products and form my opinions. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, then I do these first impressions videos, and then at the end of the month, once I've had more time to play with them and more time to decide what I think of everything, I come back at the end of the month and I do a whole like roundup video. I do that every month, or I've done it every month for a little while, and I will be doing it this month. So I will continue playing with all of these if you want to hear my final thoughts on them, but I think I prefer the concealer over the foundation. Just something about it. It blended out nicer, it looked nicer on the skin, the colour actually worked for me. I know that that was just on me. The powder, again, completely holding judgment on, because I feel like I can't judge a powder over a foundation that I'm not completely sold on. So I will come back with this one. First impressions, it's nice. It worked, it didn't do anything bad to the already quite bad foundation. But let's just wait and see with that one. What else was new? The blush book. Love, like, you get 4 colours. 4 completely different colours as well. Like, you can do so many different vibes with these 4 shades. I love the lip stain. I really think I like these. Yes, they tingled, and yes, they made my lips feel numb, but also they smell like Parma violets. And I love a Parma violet, so yeah, I like it. I'm interested to see how long this stain is going to last, because some other stains that I've tried recently, the Beauty Bay one, I am talking about you, the orange one lasts for like 3 days. So I'm interested to see how long this one lasts. Wasn't the colour I was expecting it to be, with it having that like hot pink, that baby pink rather, sticker, and like on the lid it had baby pink, and then it came off like a nice sort of rosy tone. Really like that. I love the lip liner. That's so nice and creamy, and that colour, I mean that colour with this t-shirt, yes, I'm a big fan, but that colour is beautiful. And I've got some more. I've actually got the box here, but I've got some more shades. I've got one called Ruby. I've got Icing, Is that an... Oh no, that's an eyeliner. I've got another lip stain that's in Haley that looks like it might be a little bit more orange. So I'm going to try all of these bits out. I've had this for a little while, but obviously I was moving into this room and I just didn't have the chance, but I really like the lip stain and I love the lip liner. Really, really big fan. And I think that's all of the like new stuff that I tried out. The mascara, again, I'm holding judgment on because I'm just not completely sold on this finished look, and I feel like because it was very wet, I almost feel like it's going to transfer a little bit. The cat's coming across again. Do you have to? So that is my final thoughts on everything that I was testing out today. If you have tried any of these, let me know what you think of them as well. Do you have any favourites out of the bunch of goodies that I was testing out today? I would absolutely love to know. Have you tried the HNB Cosmetics Soft Focus Airbrush Foundation? Do you think I would prefer that over the Silky Matte Weightless? I'd love to know what you think, because I definitely feel like the next time they run a really great TikTok offer, I will probably try it because I'm very impressed with the concealer. But that is all I have got to say about that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more rambling from little old me, you can subscribe down below. Like I say, I post at least 3 times a week, on a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday, but it is always, pretty much 100% of the time, always more often than that, because I get overexcited about makeup. But until next time, I need to get that cat out of that paper bag. Thank you ever so much for watching. Bye. Ah! Do you want some mascara on? You don't need mascara, you're beautiful as you are.